Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our fourth live session, and technically, I guess, our fifth session in the challenge, Get Organized, or From Scrambling to Structured. This challenge has been designed for online ESL teachers to help them take all of their sticky notes, their Excel documents, their WeChat messages, and organize them in one place. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan, and I am the founder of Florentus Learning, and I'm super happy to be here today. Florentus Learning offers more than 750 lessons, including a core curriculum, speaking, writing, and phonics lessons and grammar lessons. We also have some new specialty adult lessons and all sorts of tools and resources. One of those tools that we offer is the Teacher Hub. And so today we are going to look at sort of that placement level confidence. So with that, I am just going to share my screen like we usually do. And I just have a couple of slides. We'll sort of talk about it. We're going to look at it in the portal and how we do that. And I'm also going to show you some free placement tools that are available to everyone to use anytime with your students. And so let's dive right in. So today, as I said, session 4, we're looking at placement and a level confidence. And this can sometimes be one of the most stressful things. It's like, am I in teaching the right level? Is this the right material for this student? Are they improving? And by the end of the session, really, I want you to have a simple, repeatable system for placement that saves time and builds parent trust. If you are joining us, please let me know in the chat. I always love to know who's here, and just drop me a note. Let me know where you're joining us from. And if you have questions or stories about finding the right student's level, let me know that too. One of the things that I love to do is figure out how to solve problems. And a lot of these things are based on problems that teachers have raised and/or problems that I've had in my own online teaching business. So today we really stop guessing student levels. And for some students, it's really obvious. They've taken an exam like a Cambridge English exam. They have a specific level. They have reports from schools. There's a variety of tools that you might use. But in other cases, you've got new students coming to you. You don't know them. You're not really sure what they do and don't know. They have gaps, right? They might be really strong in one area. Often I find a lot of my students can read, but they might not understand what they're reading, or they are very, very comfortable with maybe certain aspects of the language, but maybe weaker in writing, maybe weaker in speaking. So today, we're going to look at the student workflow again to support our student levels and lesson continuity. And this is what we've been looking at all the way through the challenge, right? We have added students to the Teacher Hub. We have set their level and set their first lesson so that we can use the Start Next Lesson button. And then last time we looked at adding the booking so that your Today tab is organized and ready to go. Today, we're going to look at adding assessment results. And we've also talked last time about how we communicate that and share that information with parents so that we can build that trust and demonstrate that progress for our students. So even, experienced teachers carry this quiet worry, is this the right level? Am I doing the right thing? Awesome. Welcome, Diane. I'm glad to see you're here. Is this too easy for them, right? Are they breezing through it? Are they bored? Maybe they are doing that, but not understanding sort of what's going on. Why maybe does a lesson suddenly feel too hard, right? Maybe something that should flow is struggling and you're like, oh, okay, it's because they actually have a gap and they're missing something. Maybe you're like, oh, are they ready to move up? You don't want to push them too fast, but you also don't want to hold them back too long. And then based on that, sort of what should I plan next? And so without that clear baseline, every planning session starts with a guessing game. So you don't need a complicated test. It doesn't require formal hours of formal exams or hours of prep. Really, you can choose the option that fits your needs. So with Florentus Learning, we have two options for you. And then, of course, the third option all teachers have already, which is their own observation judgment. So the first one is our placement assessment. This is a full confidence baseline. It's structured. It covers all 4 skills, and it gives you a complete picture of where your student stands. It is ideal for new students or students returning from a long break. We have a new tool called our rapid diagnostic or fast 10 question check. This is designed to take 5 to 10 minutes max, and it gives you some information to place the student confidently without disrupting the flow of your lesson. And then our third one, of course, teachers use every day, which has our own judgment. You might choose a specific lesson from a level and start there based on how you've observed the student, maybe information you've received from your conversation with parents. And then you use your trained eye and your best judgment to sort of pick up on those fluency, hesitation, vocabulary gaps, grammar gaps, confidence. All of those things are valid and useful when you're making a determination. So what we're going to do in the Teacher Hub today is we are going to log one level decision. And before we do that, I am going to show you the tools that are available to you. And as I said, these tools are available to everyone. And you don't have to be a subscriber to Florentus Learning to access them. So with that, I am going to just jump over to our tools first. And when you come to the to florentuslearning.ca, and under our courses manual, you'll see an ESL placement assessment. And if you are a complete classroom curriculum subscriber, you have access to this. You might need to enroll because it is one of our free offerings. But even if you're not using the curriculum yet, this is something that you can sign up for and you can grab and you can use with your students and really with any curriculum. So you'll see right here that we have, this is sort of our more fulsome one. This is our placement test. You simply would put in the student's name, and we've been using Anaconda. So let's go with that. Again, fake student. And we're just going to go to full screen just to make it look a little bit prettier and to move all of that information, all of that noise out of our face. And we'll go to our warm up. So up along the top, you'll notice we have pre-A1, A1, A2, B1. These are jumping boxes. These allow you to skip through. So here are some suggested questions that you can ask your student. And if they're comfortable with those, you might decide that you want to skip through. I'm just going to give people a sort of an idea what it looks like. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. As I said, it is free, it is available, and so you can certainly access it at your leisure. I'm just going to skip to the A1 questions. So you'll notice right away it's visual. This one is assessing grammar tenses and grammar knowledge, of course. And I am going to just choose my answers, and then it automatically advances. So this is more of our A1. This is looking at comparisons. This one is one I find always is tricky for students. They usually know that it's than, but they don't know whether it's AN or EN. So this one can certainly catch them. And then this one is a great one for testing possessives. You know, that is, it's marries with an apostrophe. And as English teachers, we know that, but certainly that's one place that students struggle. This one is one that I find they really struggle with. It's sort of interesting. I often get yes, I do from my students. And of course, this is a past tense, and so that is incorrect. I'm just going to choose some incorrect answers so that we can sort of see what happens. So the first one that's wrong, that's okay. The second one that's wrong, it's going to actually give us a prompt. Now, this has audio, so we would listen to it and then we would choose. I happen to know that the answer is English, so I am going to choose that one. But now let's say this one is incorrect. And I don't remember, I think it could be 1B, but we'll try that. Oh, it was 1B. This one has a little bit of reading underneath. And then what does John have? I'm going to say he has a kite, which is wrong. So now we have two wrong answers. And We can't see that, but let me just change my screen sharing just so that everyone can sort of see what happens. Oh, I missed it. Anyway, what happens is you get a pop-up. Now that pop-up, as you can see, because you didn't see it, can't be seen when you are screen sharing. But I'm just going to choose these both as wrong. And when you get that, it says the student now has 2 incorrect answers. In A1, click OK to stop here and place at this level, or cancel to continue asking more questions. So I'm just going to hit OK. It's going to take us to this end page. And what I usually do then is I just take a screenshot of this and move on to a lesson when I'm doing a trial lesson. And this way I get a quick snapshot of their level, but I use this information in my placement assessment. So you'll notice the important thing here is that it's 18 points. It is providing a suggested starting point of level 3, unit 1, and that is based on Florentus. And then you'll know the band as well. And so it does note that we skipped the earlier levels based on the teacher judgment, because I did skip pre-A1. When you skip, it automatically takes the number of questions from that skipped level and adds it to your total score. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure that out. So this is one of your placement options. Your other option, which is brand new, is the rapid diagnostic assessment. And again, I'm going to go to full screen just because it's a little bit prettier. And this has up to 10 questions, and it does adapt as the students work through it. So the very first one, we've got this little notice, right? So no parking here after 6. What should drivers do? And so what is it? We're going to leave before 6. So if they get this one correct, then it proceeds. And you'll notice up here at the top that it actually changed levels in this corner. So that is actually what it's intended to do. So why does Tom study English? And I'm going to say that he travels to work overseas, which is the correct answer. And then we're going to start to make some mistakes. So Anna takes the train to work because it's faster than driving. She leaves home at 7 and arrives by 7:45. So I'm just going to choose safer. It's going to tell me not quite. It gives me another chance. So it hasn't adjusted my level yet. And after a famous chef started working there, people now travel from other cities just to eat there. So again, we had famous, which we'd need to know that famous is the same as well known in order to answer this question. And I'm just going to say that it's a location because it's, they also travel from other cities. I'm going to jump over to the next question. And bought a bicycle because the local bus is often unreliable. And we're going to say that she wants to do this for exercise. And so you can very quickly see that we're getting a bit of a score. Maybe he was ill. And then we have a speaking prompt. So what is your favorite place to play in the city? And why? Now, this gives us strong, good, and weak as the choices. This view expected answers actually opens another pop-up. And I'm just going to share that so that you can see. So this is actually the teacher tools, right? So this appears, so when you're sharing just your screen, you'll be able to see this and the students won't see this. And this gives you some suggestions. So in terms of sort of rating it, if we're at a B1 level, and the student says, I like the park because it's beautiful, then I'm going to say that it is, it's below the reading level, right? And so when I do that, that actually ends it and we see result, and it's recommending level 4, unit 4, and an A2 level. So you can see very quickly sort of, let me share that instead. Share this tab instead. And so that is the rapid diagnostic assessment. It is brand new, so I am looking for feedback. I've only used it with one of my students so far, and usually I like to use it with a lot more. So if you are finding it's working really well for you, great. If not, by all means, let me know and we can adjust. The other thing, and I'm not going to dive into it too much, but there is a writing assessment here as well. So if you are teaching writing, you can use the writing assessment. There's information on how to do that, and there is a rubric at the end, right here, which you use to assess your students' writing. So you can see very quickly that we've got some tools there, and you may have your own tools that you like, but how do we then take that information and put it into the Teacher Hub? So let's switch to that. If you have been doing assessments and have questions, or if you have other tools that you love, by all means, let me know in the chat. I'm always looking for new tools and ways to sort of make things work. The nice thing about the placement assessment is it does help you to place them within the Florentus Learning curriculum. And so if you are using Florentus, it's nice to have the assessment that you can use with it. So from here, we're pretty familiar. This is our Students tab, and we've become fairly familiar with this. Now, if we want to, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger for everyone, so I'll disappear for a minute. If we want to log an assessment over here under your actions, the first green check mark, that is for our progress notes. So we use that in day one. We know if we click that, we can just add a note for the parents. The second one is actually our assessment. So the little one with the pencil and the paper, or it looks sort of like taking notes, that is our assessment. So we're going to come here and we are going to just click that. Oh, just a sec, it logged me out. All right, there we go. I'm back in. I should have re-logged in, I guess, before I started. So you'll see this is our add assessment. Now, I think because I logged out and in, I think that was sort of my issue, but you can choose your student and often it will remember it. So I'm using the general English placement assessment because I'm going to use the one where I had the score of 18 out of 50. If you're using that, so I'm going to call this my trial lesson, and I am going to put in the score of 18, and I am going to, it says it can be pre-filled. So this is the trick. You just scroll to the bottom and you want to pre-fill it. So I'm going to hit pre-fill. And this is where things became a little bit fun. So our SEFR levels filled out. Our core curriculum recommendation, level 3, unit 1, which matches our placement assessment, is filled out. We have some suggested feedback. I'm happy with that. It does put the student's name in it and the student's gender. I am then going to use my judgment on the actual tasks. So maybe she struggled a little bit with grammar, so I'm just going to mark that one down. Her listening skills were pretty good. She got those ones correct. Her speaking was a little bit weak maybe, and she had good reading skills. And I am going to now just hit save. Now, normally, if you were doing this, you could now click the create a learning plan from this assessment, but we're going to focus on learning plans next week. So I don't want to overwhelm anyone or provide too much at once. And I'm just going to save my assessment. And I'm back on Anna's student profile page. And if you scroll down, you will see right here, here is her placement assessment. Here is my note. I can edit it with the pencil, or I can create the plan. And we haven't created the plan yet, but we will use this to create the plan. So now, so that was our assessment tools, so that we have a good idea what level the student's at, where we should place them. We've got some options there, including the new rapid diagnostic tool. And then we have set our assessment record on the Teacher Hub. Now, the assessment record is also available on the parent report, and that is very transparent. And so you're automatically showing that professionalism, communicating that information with the parent, and you are, really helping them right from that very first encounter understand that you are professional, you're organized, you have lots of information to share. So why would we do this? And let's just take a look again sort of at this. So better placement And I should be, yep, switch. Okay. So better placement really saves future replanning, right? If you start in the right place, then the lessons are going to progress. The student's going to be appropriately challenged. You're not going to be really frustrated. Hopefully, you don't have any unnecessary teaching then, right? You don't need to teach material that they've already mastered. And so this allows you to find the right level right from the beginning. You don't have to worry too much about these random jumps, right? Because this will allow you to have a map. You're going to have a learning plan, you're going to have a learning map, you're going to know exactly where you're going, and it saves you as a teacher time because you're not preparing for a lesson and then changing it and preparing for something else. You're not flustered during class needing to change the level. And so when your baseline is solid, planning becomes faster, cleaner, and more confident because you don't spend time second guessing yourself. You know what you're doing. This is not something that you don't have experience in. You're very comfortable with it. You might be using different materials. You might be doing things a little bit differently, but you are having the right tools can make all the difference in the world. Parents trust teachers who explain the why. And so you're not just teaching, you're communicating your expertise. I know when I had a bunch of students that I was onboarding, and in the first session, with every single one of them, I did my placement assessment and then I started a lesson. And then after that, I sent them the learning plan. And we'll do the learning plans next week, as I mentioned. But that really, just right from the beginning, really set me apart from other teachers because it showed my expertise and it built confidence in the parents right from the beginning that they knew that their children were in capable hands. It also feels a little bit premium, right? It's like, oh, look at this teacher. Like I've got all this plan. And when you see us do the learning plan based on your assessments next week, you're going to be like, oh, okay, this is so quick and so easy. And you're just going to be, there won't be anyone you won't want to do that. Impressed people talk. And so this is going to support referrals and it's going to really help build your business because word of mouth is probably one of the biggest ways to market and one of our best marketing pieces. And it's also going to improve renewals because the parents have confidence that, oh, yes, we had a plan. This is where we're going. We haven't necessarily finished that. And some people are like, oh, well, I already used that. I used it at the beginning. There's nothing also wrong with going back and reusing it. And I know that there were a number of teachers who might have been using something different and they came in and they actually used the placement assessment. And it gave them a lot of confidence that they were starting in the right place, but they also really like to be able to communicate that progress to the parents. And so that was really valuable for them. And so this is sort of that rule. We never want to create a plan without a baseline. And so whatever you choose, whether you're choosing to do your own assessment, whether you're using the rapid assessment, whether you're using the writing assessment or the general assessment, these are all tools that are there for you. Spend the 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that will save you hours later. And then once you have confirmed a level and documented the evidence, your planning becomes intentional and targeted. You're not guessing, you're building on what they know. And so this is going to sort of be your method, right? Choose your method, 5 minutes, right? Which one do you want to use? Fill out your assessment on the Teacher Hub so that you can go back and you can look at it. I know even some of mine, I've gone back because I always make a note that, oh, struggled with these grammar questions. Because if I go back in and have them do that again, I'm looking to see that, oh, now they've got the past tense. Now they've got present continuous. And you're recording the result. Confirm the level, note 1 or 2 observations, and you select your next lesson range. This will transform that into this living record of the information. So lots of choices. And so before co-working, I would challenge you to try that out. If you have a student, all the better. Try the placement assessment with them and then log it. If you don't, then just try to log it and figure out how that assessment tool works. So this is session 4. Tomorrow we have co-working. And really what you're building is a clear low effort system for assessing student levels. And then the language to communicate your expertise with confidence. So next we are going to work on learning plans next week and some of our sort of other things like certificates and things that are fun. But Tomorrow we have co-working, so same time tomorrow noon. If you're part of the challenge, then you can jump right in. The link is in your challenge hub. And if you are not part of the challenge and still want to join, it's never too late. You can, of course, join us for that. And so that is just the florentuslearning.ca online ESL teacher challenge, or organized online ESL teacher challenge. The link is in the description box. That's the best place to grab it from. And keep going. You're not just organizing your teaching, you're building your professional practice that you can be proud of. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you're like, what about this? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear from people, or send me an email, or if you're in the challenge, we'll see you tomorrow at co-working. Thanks everyone, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time. And our next live session is Monday, which will be our 5th live session in the challenge. And next week is our last week of the challenge. I also am going to do a live, so if you are, keep an eye out, I'm going to post it. But I'm going to do a live to talk about our new live mode, which is super exciting, and I'm exciting to launch. And I'm also going to do one about our new Phonics Adventures level 2 curriculum. So keep an eye on the channel. If you haven't yet, subscribe and click notifications so that you're always notified. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day and happy Wednesday.